Hello, students. Stay home, stay safe. Class 12th, this is your economics video, and we will be discussing about definitions of money. We have discussed about the narrow definition. We will be doing a quick recap of that, and then we will be discussing about the broad definition and the another concept, that is RBI, measures of money supply. So all these things will be covered in this particular video. We will be discussing today about the money. First of all, what is money? We have discussed this earlier also. We will be doing a quick recap, and starting with the definition of money, we have discussed about M1. What is basically M1? It is the narrow definition of the money. And in that narrow definition, basically we have discussed about this different things which come under that particular definition of money, all those things which we have to include in that money. Like we have to include the currency, the coins, the notes which we are having, the normal currency which flows in the market. It is known as currency. So this is the one thing we include in this particular M1 type of money. The next thing which we include is our, you can say, deposits, the demand deposits. What are basically the demand deposits? We have discussed this earlier also. The demand deposits are those deposits which are on deposits with banks. Like I go to the bank and I have a bank account over there in that particular bank. I go to them and ask them that I have to deposit a certain amount in my account. I deposit that account. That is my personal account in that bank, and if I'm depositing the certain amount, I can withdraw that also. But if I have dealt with the FDs or the time deposits, they are not included in this particular type of money, so we have to exclude that. But the demand deposits, those deposits which I have deposited, the money which I have deposited and which can be withdrawn whenever I demand it, that is known as demand deposit. Now these are the two things which are included in M1 type of money. So definition of money is, according to this M1 type of money, the narrow definition of the money, we have to include two things, and those two things are, first of all, we include the currency, and the second is the demand deposits we include. And what are the things we have to exclude? All those things we have to discuss, and the things we have to discuss are the excluding things. We have discussed this, that first of all, we don't have to don't have to include the time deposits. Time deposits means the FDs, RDs. We don't have to include all of these things. And demand deposits, as you know, they are highly you can say they are highly liquid. Whenever you need them, you can go to the bank, or you can go to the ATM and get your money back to you. But the time deposits are not that kind of deposits. You have to do certain things for getting that money back, although the money is given to you, but there is time foundation. Next is your currency with the government and the banks. You don't have to include that. There is a reason that we don't have to include that money which is with the government or the, you can say, the banks particularly, that we don't have to include, because we have to exclude the problem of double counting. We don't have to create a problem, we don't have to make a problem of double counting in our accounts. So we do this, we ignore this part of the money and don't include this part of the money. Next is the stock of the monetary gold, the gold which is present with the banks, okay, or the paper money which they are having, which can be converted. We have discussed about that particular money which can be converted into the metal, okay, the precious metals, gold, silver, you can say, the token money, okay. That particular money is not included in this particular definition, which is the narrow definition. Now we will be moving towards the next definition, that is your broad definition. We also denote it by M2. M2 is the money which is the broader money, or the definition given by Milton Friedman. Okay, this definition is given by Milton Friedman. This particular definition is known as the broader definition of money. Why it is known as broader definition? The very simple reason behind that is, In the narrow definition, we have taken a very basic concept, we have taken a very basic term. Two terms we have taken, and both are very basic, the currency and the demand deposits. In the next one, we will be taking more things, we will be including more things. These two will be included, and in addition to these two things, we will be including two or three more things. First of all, we will be including the M1, that is your currency, and second is your demand deposit. So both these things will be included: currency, demand deposit, and third is your time deposit, which we have to include in this particular type of money, this particular broad definition of the money. We have to include this part in this. So in addition to M1, one additional part is there, and that additional part is known as, which type of deposit is that? That is your time deposit. So you can write M2 is equal to M1 plus the time deposits. Next, we will be discussing about the RBI's measures. What are the RBI measures for money supply? Basically, what is money supply, and what are the measures and terms and conditions given by RBI to make this more clear to us? It has given basically two more definitions, or two more things we have to discuss, and those two are M3 and M4. We have discussed two things, M1 and M2. M1 is the narrow concept, and M2 is the broader concept. In M1, we have discussed we have to take two things, and those two things are also included in M2. So M1 is having the currency and the demand deposits, that is M1 and your narrow definition. We don't have to include the time deposit in M1. This particular M1 is included in M2 with time deposits. When we are including the time deposits, that is your broader concept. We are including one more thing, we are including a broad concept in that in M1. So it is your broad concept and broad definition of the money. The definition M2 is given to you by Milton Friedman. So you have to be very clear about these two definitions of money, which I have discussed with you. The M1 was discussed earlier also, and I have discussed M2 with you. You just have to include a single thing, that is your time deposits in this particular definition given by Milton Friedman, the M2 definition. Now we will be discussing about the next definitions. The four definitions given by RBI, they are as per the norms and conditions, and RBI has given certain conditions to us that you have to be very much clear while defining the definition. The M1, M2, M3 and M4 again. M1 and M2 are again in this definition, but the criteria is different. In the previous one, that was not as per RBI's conditions. Now this, which we will be studying now, is as per RBI. RBI has said all these things, and we have to discuss all these things, that what is M1, M2, M3 and M4 as per RBI. And this was published in 1977. Since then we are taking it in this way only, that M1 as per the RBI is this and M2 is this. But the earlier narrow and the broad definition, if these two words will be there, or if these two will be asked by the examiner to you, then you have to define the narrow and the broader concept. The first one was M1 was the currency with the demand deposits, and the second one, the M2, was currency with demand deposits with time deposits. That was M2 by Milton Friedman. But now we have to discuss what is M1, M2, M3 and M4, four definitions given by RBI. So starting with the very first one, we have to discuss that what is M1. M1 is currency with the public. Currency with the public, which is rotating in the economy, which is moving in the economy, circulating in the economy. That is M1, includes the public money, the money with the public, the currency with the public. Particularly currency, keep it in your mind, the word currency is very important. Currency includes the notes and the coins which are with the public in their hand, or it is circulating in the market. Next is your demand deposits, which are with the bank itself and the banking system. RBI, SBI, PNB, all these banks are included in the banking system. So all these included, and the demand deposits present with all these banks is also included in this money. Next is your other deposits with RBI. There are certain other deposits also which RBI is having. So all these are included. Three things we have discussed. The very first one is your currency with the people, which is rotating in the economy, which is circulating in the economy. The second one is your demand deposits with the banking system, and the third one is your other deposits with the RBI. This is M1 according to RBI, and it was published in 1977. Now, second one is M1 is included in M2. Similarly, as we have discussed in the previous one also, we have to include M1, all those things, the currency, the demand deposit with the banking system, other deposits with the RBI also. And then another thing which we have to include is the saving deposit with the post office. There are certain saving deposits which are with post office, so we have to include those also in M2, not in M1. We have to include in M2. The next one is your M3, in which M1 is there and time deposits are there. So M1 plus your money with post office is your M2, and M1 plus time deposits are included in M3. So this is the basic difference between M2 and M3, that M1 is included, but you have to be very careful. We have to include post office deposits in M2, while the other one, the time deposits, we have to include it in your M3. Or you can say in M3 what is included in detail. If I talk about in detail, that is your first is your net bank credit to the government, bank credit to the commercial sector, that also we have done, net foreign exchange, assets of banking sector, government currency, liabilities to the public, minus net monetary liabilities to the banking sector. This they have told you in the detail, but you have to write it like, you can easily write it. You can write the things we have started in M1. We have done three things in M1, and you have to add the time deposits in it. That's it. With M3 and M4, it is including M3. M3 is having your currency with the public, it is having your demand deposits with the banking system, it is having your other deposits with RBI, and next is your all deposits with post office saving banks. Okay, you have to include the all deposits with post office and saving banks, and you have to exclude national saving certificates. You don't have to include the national saving certificates in this particular type in M4. So this is your definition of money supply as per RBI terms and conditions. RBI states that you have four types of money supply. Very first one is M1. In M1 we have discussed that currency with the public is there. Second one is your demand deposits with the banking system. Third one is your other deposits with RBI. In M2 you have to include the savings with the post office, and you have to take M1 again in M3, but in this M3 you have to include the time deposits, not the post office deposits. In M4 you have to include M3, that is M1 included, M1 having the three things in it, and M3 has one more thing, that is your time deposits. With it you have to include all the saving with the postal, your post office saving banks. One thing you have to exclude in this particular M4, and that is your saving certificates, that also the national saving certificates. We don't have to include that in this M4. So according to RBI, there is one more money, or you say that it is high powered money. We will be discussing it in detail. In economics, high powered money or the money base, you can say M naught or M0. This is also known as money, money base, high powered money, reserve money. All these terms are given to the same particular term is this, and the all these are the synonyms. All these are the terms, name of the same term, and it is relating to the money supply, and it is the amount of money in the economy, which according to RBI is the monetary base. It is the highly liquid money. You can say it consists of the coins, paper money, and all the commercial banks are having certain reserves with central. As you can see in this picture, reserve money or M naught is equal to the currency in circulation, which means it is in circulation, it is moving in the economy, plus the banker's deposit with RBI. And there is also one thing, that is your other deposits with RBI. Next, they have written the same thing, the thing which has been written above is written in other words. What are the other words? Net RBI credit to the government. The credit given to the government, but in net. Net, gross, all these are the different terms. We will be discussing all these things in detail in the next video. Next is your RBI credit to commercial sector. Then RBI's claims on banks. There are certain claims on banks. RBI claims certain money and different things are there. We will be discussing all these things. Next is your RBI's net foreign assets. Assets in foreign deposits or foreign terms. Next is your government's currency liabilities to the public minus RBI's net non-monetary liabilities. So all these terms are to be understood. So I'll be making another video on all these terms. Till then, you have to just keep in your mind that currency in circulation, banker's deposit, okay, with RBI. Next is your other deposits with RBI. Be very careful with the word RBI. RBI has been mentioned in this particular high powered money. You can let me know your doubts in the comment section so that I can talk about those doubts and keep all those in consideration when I make my next video in order to clear all those things. Now, that's it for today. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you.